Some people are born warriors. Something drives them forward, past any obstacle, towards something bigger. Maybe they weren't born with a silver spoon, but they were born with a purpose. At Wayne State University, we take this drive and turn it into so much more, so they can become warrior strong.
All right, are we ready? Okay, cool, awesome. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our first ever virtual class town hall. Dean Hartwell and I wanted to take a moment to welcome you to Wayne State if you're new, and welcome many of you back. Today, we'll answer any questions you might have about the semester and life at Wayne State. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the side chat to my left. And we also have a couple of class prize packs to give away. So stick around for that and be sure to use your real names in the chat to be entered. Reminder, if you are selected to receive prize packs, email class@wayne.edu with your t-shirt size and mailing address. Well, let's get into introductions. So my name is Kamali, Clora. I'm your class student senate representative. That means my job is to support and advocate for the needs of the students to really strive for that overarching goal of student success. And with me, I brought a few friends of mine to help answer some of your questions. So please introduce yourselves, tell us what your major is and why you chose it. Well, we can start with Ria.
Hi everyone, my name is Ria Chabra and I'm your Wayne State Student Senate President. My major is public health and I picked it because it really gives me an overarching view of health. It teaches you how your lifestyle really impacts your health and how to prevent many of the diseases that affect us. So it's a great major. I really enjoy it.
Chinelo.
Hi everyone, my name is Chinelo. I'm also a public health major. I'm a senior. I chose public health because going into school, I knew I was interested in medicine and interested in health. And while taking public health classes, I realized how foundational it is to your everyday life. So I really enjoyed taking those courses. And after doing this, I plan on getting my master's in public health because of how much I've enjoyed it at Wayne State.
Awesome. Sailor.
Hello, everybody. I'm a second-year student at Wayne State University, and I am studying political science and communications. The reason why I chose political science is because I love politics, I love the government, and I plan on working in it eventually. I'm actually working more the elections side of things, but I chose communications because I love communicating with people, and I want to learn how to better communicate with people. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you all for helping us out today. And of course, we're joined by College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Dean Steffi Hartwell. So I'll let you take it over.
Thank you very much, Kamali. I'm Steffi Hartwell. I'm wearing my new fancy headset because I have a house full of people and dogs here at home. And this year, I think that you all know the majority of your experience at Wayne State will be remote experiences, but we'll try to make those experiences as great and interesting and as informative as possible. You all should know I'm also interested in public health. I'm a sociologist with expertise in mental health and substance abuse and community social problems. But I also am a program evaluator. So what I spend my time doing is looking at different types of programs, and I've forayed this into academic programs and being a dean. So I'm here to answer sort of all your questions around as many as I can. I'm gonna defer to the students because they know a lot more than me about certain things, but I'll try to answer many questions that you have about faculty, about academics, about the college as a whole. So we're really happy to be here. Thanks, Kamali.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dean. So awesome. Let's move right into the Q&A. Again, if you have any questions at home, you can ask us in the chat at any time. Our first question is one that has come up a lot, and I think Dean Hartwell can answer this one. When will we have in-person classes?
That one I cannot answer. So it seems like, Wayne State has done a very good job of articulating the principles of epidemiology around COVID-19 and really using the data to drive our decisions. So we didn't early on in the summer get out in front and say, we're going to all be back in person because we were seeing what was happening in Detroit and in the numbers. Michigan is still not great overall. It's sort of middling to bad in terms of states nationwide, but Detroit is leveling off. And Wayne State on move-in day had something like a 0.9 prevalence rate. Very few folks tested positive that were moving into the dorms. And we have a metric of if the rate on campus becomes 15%, then we're going to go all remote. We've been instructed to instruct faculty for winter semester to have them plan to be remote. And I think this is coupled with the idea of flu season. We're suggesting all students get the flu shot, but concerns about confusion about the flu, coronavirus, increased rates. But we're really taking things as they come. So until mid-July, a lot of faculty thought that they would be teaching in person until August 1st, as I still had a lot of faculty in the college that thought they'd be teaching in person because that's what they wanted to do. And then they were told, no, the risk is just too high to have clusters of folks coming up positive with the coronavirus. And so we've been very cautious at the university about convening people on campus. So the truth of the matter is we don't know. I suspect next September 1st or the summer, but it could be earlier than that. It could be after spring break too.
Thank you so much. That insight is very helpful. And I know that the university has been very, preemptive and trying to do a lot of things ahead of the time as far as with the academic restart committees and getting students involved in those conversations to best understand how to really take those next steps in this new, uncharted, unprecedented environment. So thank you so much, Dean. Now we have another question from biology student Daniel. He asked that, are there any job fairs coming up for class majors at the time?
So that's for me again. We typically do have a job fair. We've worked extensively with career services because what we wanted to do as a college is make sure that 100% of our undergrad students had access to either an undergrad research experience or an internship experience. So then we catapulted and started to work with career services because the internship can lead to thinking about careers. Undergrad research can do the same. So we did have a big career services fair last winter. I think it was before everything sort of went remote. And I think we will plan to do something virtually this winter. So we're not willy-nilly just sliding in. Just because we did it last year, we're going to do a remote Zoom to do it. But we're really thinking about what students will, what kind of forums will be informative and convene students. And I think careers is something that we care very much about in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, that we want you all to have applied experiences and be able to take your majors in political science or public health or sociology and go to the next step, have a job with them. And we just got something in the email today from Career Services about their support of students. So do remember we have Career Services on campus as well. And I can answer questions about internships by department or undergrad research experiences at some point too, which I'm sure you all can as well.
Awesome. Excellent to hear. Another question that came in ahead of time was, how is student life at Wayne State and how do you make friends at such a big place? So anyone can, Rhea, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so I think student life is great. There's many opportunities to get involved. And I know going into the fall semester, it's all going to be online, but I think many different student organizations are still holding club meetings and putting on events. So I'd really encourage you to attend those. And then many of them will probably have breakout rooms. So you're in smaller groups and that way you can connect with many different people. So I would definitely encourage you to still get involved.
Thanks, Rhea. Anyone else? Go ahead, Sailor.
Yeah, I will say when I was a freshman last year, things were a little bit different, but what I can say is to definitely get involved in organizations, because that's the one thing how I made all of my friends, including Kamali and Rhea. I met them through Student Senate and I was super excited. I went to Israel with Kamali and, we just had a really good bond. So if you're in organizations, or I'm living on campus in Anthony Wayne Drive, if you're living in your resident hall and you have sets on a floor or on a different floor, you can hang out with them as long as you guys are staying safe. And I will say it's a little different, but you can definitely text on your floor group chat asking, does anybody have some salt or pepper? And you may make a friend off of that.
Absolutely. There's connections all around at Wayne State. And so it just comes from a simple conversation and just getting to know someone and, going to explore what the university has to offer. So let's keep it moving here. All right. So someone asked, can first year students do undergraduate research, and how do you start out? Deeply Hartwell?
So go ahead. Students go first, and then I'll wrap it up.
Okay, yeah. I can go ahead and answer that question. I've been doing research about every single summer since I've been at Wayne State. Really, after your first year at Wayne, you've been taking classes, most likely, and your best source for doing research is hitting up your professors and asking them if they have any labs that are going on. And for the most part, most professors at Wayne, especially in our college, are like really friendly. And if they don't have a project that's going on, they'll at least refer you to like someone else. And then also you can check online. We have a lot of faculty profiles within each department. And you can see who's doing research, what kind of projects they're doing, and you can reach out and just email them and ask them if you can get involved.
Absolutely. I will also say that, the Wayne State has so many undergraduate research conferences. So going to attend those and kind of gauging where your interest is, aligning it with some of the curriculum work that you're doing, and even seeking some research programs. I know the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, and then also, programs like McNair Scholars are often open for students to join.
So one thing that we kicked off, and the timing was probably not great because it was around March of this year, was the Undergrad Research Portfolio Program, which is an experience that you don't have to be paired up intensively with one faculty member, that you do a series of things, creating an annotated bibliography, doing a research project, working with a faculty person for a semester. And then when you click off all those boxes, you're going to get a notation on your transcript saying, I've completed the Undergraduate Research Portfolio Program in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And that was one of our ways for, if there wasn't a research intensive faculty person you wanted to work with over the summer, you wanted to do it in the course of your coursework, that we created a new mechanism for students to complete undergrad research. And again, that's the Undergrad Research Portfolio Program. And you actually register for that through the dean's office. So we help you identify a faculty person to work with and get through the process. So that's more centralized in the college. But I agree that I think it's really, I love to hear that the faculty in the college are friendly for the most part. I really do. But they are, and they do research. Remember, Wayne State's a R1 university, that the faculty in the classroom that are teaching you are generating knowledge. So they want to teach students how to do that.
Absolutely. And we know how much research is so critical to, in the classroom learning. Ria, did you have something to say?
Yeah, and I would also recommend if in my case, like for a public health major, we're added to a Canvas page where we get notifications when there's public health research opportunities. So maybe reaching out to your advisors about that in your major, and then signing up for pre-health advising newsletters. They usually have great research opportunities, or checking Academica. So those are also great ways to find research.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ria. We have a live question that said, have any of us done undergraduate research, and when did we start? So if some of you want to go first, or I know maybe Chi-Chi or Dean Hartwell, Steffi Hartwell, if you would like to go, Ria?
Yeah, I can go.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing research the winter semester of my sophomore year. So I started looking for research the beginning of my sophomore year, and then I found one the second semester. And the way I found it was through that Canvas page that I'm in for public health. I just reached out, sent in my resume, sent in a cover letter, and then they interviewed me, and I was able to continue the research that I'm doing right now.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Go ahead, Chi-Chi.
Yeah, I'm also doing research. I started doing research, like I said, the summer after my freshman year. I went through like faculty profiles and I just emailed some people, and then they invited me in to come talk about their projects, and I was invited to work on a project. My first summer, I worked on a project involving type 1 diabetes. And then for my second summer, I wanted to leave Michigan since I've been here for a minute now. So I talked to my advisor and to my program directors about how I can do that, and they helped me apply to do research at other schools. So my second summer, I did research at Harvard School of Public Health, and I was there for about like a little over a month doing like LGBTQ health. And then I came back to Wayne State afterwards, and like Ria said, our public health advisors email us a lot about research opportunities. So they told me about one that was at U of M, and I reached out, sent my resume, cover letter, applied, and I worked on that one too.
Awesome. For me, I actually was in a research program with Chinello, and so that's kind of how we kind of got started in the realm of research. So my research really focused on fruit flies, Drosophila. So in that realm, and then kind of aligning it with some of my public health interests and what I do in my side passions. And so that's allowed me to venture into some other humanities research. And you know, when you present research, it's a wonderful feeling just to have your hard work recognized at different symposiums and conferences and such like that. And even, you know, me as someone who wants to attend graduate school, my research was accepted at Johns Hopkins. And so that's me planting a seed for the future of where I want to go for my future schooling. Any other comments on that question?
You all are super smart. I don't remember if I think I did undergrad research as a part of a course, but I was way behind you all. So, I mean, it's sort of amazing what you've done. And I think that, right, freshman time is the time to settle in and explore what's available, explore student clubs, get a handle on what's going on there. You know, I think a lot of folks have a lot of questions about how to navigate Wayne State as a social environment too, probably. And then, you know, sophomore year, if it's something that you want to do, there's lots of ways to get involved with undergrad research. And so I think that there's access for those opportunities for sure.
Awesome. So we have another live question, and that question says, can we still study somewhere on campus this semester?
Who wants to start? Sailor?
Sure, yeah. So obviously, if you're staying in your dorms, you can study in your dorms. Those are perfect areas to go. We also have areas like the student center that are open as long as you can complete your daily screener, but that's with any place that you go into at the university. I will also say that we are opening up our library very soon, as long as you register a time that you would like to go in. But if anybody wants to add more to that, they can.
Great.
Yeah, so on the libraries now, we actually have the libraries coming to our Student Senate General Body meeting today at 6 p.m. So if you'd like to learn more about how they're reopening and like the measures they're taking, I would advise you to we're usually on Facebook Live, so you can watch our meetings and learn more and submit some questions there too.
Great.
So who else is on campus besides Sailor? Who's living on campus now? And in the Chinello, so when you're in public spaces like the campus center, you've got to be wearing your mask. You've got to socially distance. Those are the big things are, you know, wash your hands, wear your mask, socially distance. They're for students. If they're not wearing their masks, there's going to be some dean of students interference or, you know, around the code of conduct. And for faculty have to deal with HR if they refuse to wear masks. So wearing a mask is like the number one rule on campus at Wayne State. So if they do open the libraries, and there are going to be open libraries too, but they really don't want folks working in groups or studying in groups. At the beginning of all this, we thought maybe we could hold classes outside and things like that. And we're not allowed to do that even. Labs and some dance and theater classes are being held in person. That's it.
Thank you for those updates. So we have another pre-submitted question. Tyrone asks, do I need a minor? So Dean Hartwell, if you want to chime in.
I keep muting myself, thinking I'm off topic. Yes, you do need a minor, but we have, I think, over 60 minors. I was looking at this the other day because I have to present at the Board of Governors, and you could put together a minor in anything. And I actually think it's quite, when we were talking about undergrad research, it was kind of a neat thing because it enables you to major. I always say to students, major in what you love because you'll do better and get better grades. And then when you're on the job market, you're able to talk about it because you actually learned stuff. You weren't just forcing yourself to do it. But then the minor gets you to explore something different or couple what you're majoring in with something cool. So for a sociologist, I might do biology because everything's biopsychosocial, or I might do public health because of the overlap there, or criminal justice. There's lots of ways, and talk to your advisors about what do you think complements this. It gives you, you might want to do we encourage folks, if you have the ability to do a language. I mean, mathematics is even a language, so that you have, you speak a second language, and so you have your area of expertise in your major, and then you have a second area of expertise. But we do require a minor for you to graduate, and usually the minors are between 15 and 21 credits. So they're not terrible heavy lift, but that's our rationale behind them as well.
Now,
You should say what your minors are. If you know.
I actually do have a question. I'm learning here too, just as well as some of the students that have come on, but I am a double major. Does that mean that I have to have a minor as well?
Okay, you stumped me on that one, but I believe because you have a double major, I think that subsumes the minor. Anybody know?
I was like, wait a second.
Let's find out, Sailor. We don't want you going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
For sure.
But that was probably a question someone had, so.
Okay. Wait, so I see here, the minor requirement is waived for students who complete a second major, a double major, a concurrent degree, a dual degree, or a second degree. So
that's our director of marketing knows it better than the dean. That says it all right there.
Awesome. So let me move forward here. Okay. Madeline asks, what are some of the best online resources for first-year students to utilize? Rhea, if you want to chime in.
Yeah, so I think the Academic Advising Center is great. They're doing all of their appointments and seminars online, and I know that really helped me when I first came to Wayne, like learning how to study and the different kinds of like studying techniques. So I would really recommend that to all first-year students.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I think we have I think Learn Anywhere course at Wayne State, or like a website that's called Learn Anywhere, and it has resources for learning online, trying not to procrastinate when you're learning online. I would check that out. Just look up Wayne State Learn Anywhere.
I would also definitely keep checking Academica, because you get postings there about job listings, about student organizations, about things that are going on, and also you can check your just a bunch of things that have been going on, especially with your account, and a bunch of stuff at the university. So I guarantee that you'll be looking at that a lot.
The Dean of Students every Sunday also sends out that Get Involved Virtually newsletter. There's a lot in there. Like, there's a lot of links that you could look at, and I thought that was great when it's coming out. I was kind of think that it's a great resource for students. So I think that those are all good suggestions.
Awesome. Speaking of the Dean of Students office, I know that if students can definitely stay updated on Get Involved. Get Involved has a lot of updates on different programs that the Dean of Students office is putting on, and that other student organizations. So all those co-curricular experiences in those virtual capacities are really awesome for students to get involved with. And then did someone mention the Wiser community that has been implemented thus far? So I know that's been great as far as keeping good intake of the first year student community and branching them to all the other communities at Wayne State and all the different resources. So that's definitely something to get involved with as well. Okay, so I think we have a live question here, and this is from Michaela. How would you build relationships with professors virtually? It's a good one. Good question.
Yeah. So virtually, I'd say It's kind of like the same thing you do in class, right? So you'd still go to office hours because professors are still going to be hosting it online, or if they're not going to have like a specific time, you can still reach out to them, ask questions about the course. If you're interested in the course and that field exactly, you could ask them questions about how they got into the field, things that you could be doing right now to build yourself up professionally. And then what's another way you could do that? Also, just make yourself known. Make sure you're participating in class. When the professor asks a question, answer. Even if you think you might be wrong, just answer. For most times, you're talking to like a blank, like Zoom screen, so it's a little awkward. So they love engagement. So just making yourself known, I would say.
So I taught online for the first time using Canvas this summer. I used to use a product called Blackboard, so it was a big learning curve. Canvas is a great resource once you learn how to tool around there. It was a little sticky. The student evaluations of me said I was a little disorganized because of my day job. I blame my day job, but also learning a new tool as I went. But definitely coming to office hours. And, I know a lot of you like to turn off your camera, but we love to see your face and, when we talk to you, but we love to communicate with you anyway. So any way you can communicate with your professors, I think Chanella's advice is excellent. The students that I remember best from my class, and I had like 25 plus students, were the ones that showed up and wanted to talk to me and learn more about the discipline, but also, wanted to engage.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know that Sailor and Ria are going to be leaving us at 2:30. So are there any last questions from the chat for them, or if Ria and Sailor, if you had any other comments that you want to leave for everyone?
It looks like there's one for Sailor about undergrad research in political science.
Yeah, it's actually pretty common for individuals who are studying political science to go into research. I have just now started my kind of beginning in research. I'm starting to look at certain things that I would like to do into research. I'm reaching out to advisors and professors right now at the moment. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing research this year or next year because I'm very busy this year. But make sure if you're going to be doing research that you set yourself up to be able to handle that, because if you have a bunch on your plate and you can't really do a lot for the research, then you should do it when you don't have a lot on your plate.
Yeah. So from where I sit, I get to know what the faculty are doing in every department. And political science is one of those cool departments that has folks that are experts in history, law, art. During the pandemics, the department put together a pandemic lecture series and things like that. And I know that one of the professors is expert on art and resilience, and I'm in one of our working groups. So there's lots of different things you can do in political science, and you can do archival research. You can be out in the community. And so that's nice too. It's just, you have to talk to the professors and see what the fit is and what you're interested in.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean. So yeah, excellent question, and thank you, Sailor. So speaking of what Sailor talked about managing your time and kind of knowing what's on your plate already and not stretching yourself too thin. So any students that are viewing right now, are there any questions about time management, planning, scheduling? Feel free to put those in the chat. We can surely address those as well. And if there are any comments from any of you about that, though, developing those skills and what does that look like, feel free to chime in.
I will say, as a freshman last year, the most important thing you can do, even if you're shy, if you're reserved, if I recommend reaching out to people, because those people are just as scared of you because they're right into college, and they're just wanting someone to reach out to them. So you're not going to embarrass yourself. You're not going to, say, oh, I'm weird. No, those people are going to reach back out to you. College is a time of learning and understanding individuals and understanding just knowledge in general. So I guarantee that if you just reach out to someone, you're going to have a good experience here at Wayne State University. So get yourself out there.
I definitely agree with Sailor. Like when I came to Wayne State, I was like really scared and I was like shy. But then I think once you step out of your comfort zone and really like push your boundaries to say, you'll meet all these people that like think like you and like your community, and like you'll just meet a lot of new people. So just go for it. It doesn't hurt to try. So
And Maria's
yeah.
the student senate president, so she
Right.
really
Cam.
got herself out there.
Yeah, so
You know,
I was really scared, yeah, shy in the beginning, but like I put myself out there for Senate, and now I'm like the president. So if I can do it, you can do it, definitely.
You never know. And when you put yourself
Yeah.
in spaces where you can grow and develop, that kind of morphs you into the person who you desire to be. And so Wayne State has really been a place and a platform for students to morph and transform into themselves. And so not only professionally and academically, but socially and personally. So I've valued all of my experiences and the people I've gotten to know along the way.
Yeah,
There was,
and like,
go ahead,
oh,
Ria.
I was just saying, like, the last thing, like, just don't give up. Like, even if you don't succeed in the beginning, like, when I first ran for Senate, I didn't get on. I got on, like, during the year, and then, like, now I'm, like, here. So you'll get there. Just take it one step at a time, and just don't give up.
Also, I will say college is not a competition.
Yeah.
This is your own path.
Mhm.
You need to realize maybe it won't take you 4 years. Maybe in the middle of you're the second year and you want to change your major. That's okay. College, like I said, is a time of learning, growing, and understanding who you are as a human being and how you interact with certain things. So if you really don't like your major, don't stick with it. Listen and talk to individuals, and you'll be able to get to where you want to be. Wayne State's a welcoming community. You're not going to have any backlash for saying you don't want to study political science or mathematics or anything like that. Just know who you are and know where you want to go, no matter how long it takes you, because we're there for you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for that awesome advice from the two of you. Thank you so much. And if any of you have any more questions for Sayla and Ria, feel free to contact them. I'm sure we can set something up where you can be able to, ask any further questions. Okay, I will go to a live question now.
Thank you, everyone. See you
Thank you
later.
guys so much. You guys have a wonderful time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Janella, Kamali, again, and I are going to stay on so we can answer more questions for the remainder of the hour.
Yes.
I hope.
So this live question is, what are some suggestions for how to feel connected at Wayne State? So I still have friends, a lot of my friends have college age kids, and they've sent their kids off to college, and now they're experiencing their first bout of homesickness. And so, I think when you're new to university and you moved into dorms, that September month might be that month that, Sailor was talking about, like, put yourself out there. Because a lot of these parents are reaching out to me because I work at a college thinking I have the solutions for homesick freshmen, and I don't. But what I did for myself, because I was homesick, was I played soccer and I worked. I had a job on campus. But that's different for you all in this online environment. So the question becomes different. How do you feel connected? And I think some of the tools that you all mentioned already about stay the DOSO virtually stay virtually connected, and Wayne State, Chanello, what was the Wayne State? That is Learn Anywhere. That's for learning in particular, but you both probably have good suggestions of how you feel connected even though you're remote.
Yeah, so for staying remote, it can be, a little hard to connect with new people, especially. So like I said before, definitely engage during class, respond to your classmates, chat with them. If you guys do have like a discussion period, I would definitely recommend being involved with that. And then another thing for class is that I would say, if you can, try to keep your camera on because if you don't have your camera on, I'll be honest, I'll be on my phone, I'll be chilling somewhere. It's way more, you feel way more engaged and like into the class if your camera is on. So try to make it seem like you're there as much as possible. And then I know for a lot of classes, people have group chats. So if you have a group chat with your class, I'd say engage in there too. Ask questions. Have study nights. Me and my friends have been having study nights over Zoom.
Cute.
So usually at the beginning of the study
That's
night,
awesome.
we'll say what we want to do for the hour period or 2 hours that we're going to be doing. Like I'll say, okay, I'm going to do public health homework, and then someone will say, okay, I'll do this, and then we will periodically talk during the study hour, but not like way too much. But with your classmates, you guys can also just engage, be like, hey, who wants to meet up on Zoom or something? Like there are options for.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have marketing has the CLAS Twitter account, which is super fun, and will remind you of things that are going on. I tweet about stuff that faculty and students are doing. So some Wayne State tweets. I mean, some of these social media platforms, Instagram is another, and these are just little ways to feel connected. I'd echo what Chanello said about if you can. I totally understand if you don't want people to see whatever your 9-inch nails poster on your wall. I mean, look behind me. I mean, we've all had moments in this kind of environment. I was having a faculty meeting, and one of the faculty in the back of the camera, his little son was in the back naked because he needed to go to the bathroom or something, and we were all like, oh, but we laughed. But so there's always those moments, but if you can, that's great advice.
For sure. And one thing to just think about, in this time of the pandemic and being at home, social isolation, it's always helpful just to keep in mind of your mental health and mindfulness in that regard, so you can be able to be prepared academically to do your best as far as performance in the classroom. So Wayne State offers lots of services with CAPS, or counseling and psychological services. So don't feel like you can't reach out. Wayne State is always here to support our students. So I will go to another live question, and this one says, do we use any time management tools or apps? That's a good one.
I guess the only one I really use is the Outlook app. I use
I live by that app.
I have meetings all the time, guys. I live by that app. I add class deadlines for assignments and quizzes. So that's how I keep up with it. And I set it so it reminds me the day before that I have something coming up tomorrow. So that's what I do.
Same with me. I think learning to manage your own schedule and your own calendar is a huge thing. Freshmen, you'd be amazed at how many kids come to us from high school that haven't learned that. And once you learn that and you nail it down and you have your reminders, it helps with your time management. So learning time management, and that's sort of the universal tool right now is Outlook, right, with email and everything. I'm trying to think if there's any. There's tools like Remind. I have some sports apps for my kids' sports, but it's almost too many. I have stuff coming at me all the time. I'm like, I don't know where this is, what's going on. So and maybe group chats, like you were saying with your study groups, maybe that helps keep people accountable.
Accountability. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know of others.
Yeah, I would just say that, part of time management is knowing how your time works, because, you could set times where I'm going to get ready and all of those things, but you have to know about being honest with yourself. Do you have enough time to get ready? Do you have enough time on your commute? And it's all relative and contextualized to you as a person. So knowing how much you can take and where to put, your priorities and such. But yeah, that Outlook app is super important. So another thing, make sure you all check your emails, check them multiple times a day, because that's so important, just to stay updated. And that goes into a whole thing with email etiquette and professionalism, but for another time. Go ahead.
And that goes through Canvas too, right? So if you get an email in Canvas, it does alert you in your Outlook.
Yep, for classes. And then, Canvas has its own, you can go on to-do list, and it will show you the assignments that are due at what time throughout the week. So keep that in mind as well. Let's go to another live question. Oh, I think, okay. How did you find what you wanted to do? So as far as a career passion or career field, what was the journey like? That's a good question. Dean Hartwell, if you want to go first.
Why? Because I've been working in the field for almost 30 years. So it's what I said earlier. It's absolutely true. I put myself through college, so I majored in what I wanted to, not what anybody expected me to, and that happened to be sociology and art. I fell in love. Well, I thought I was going to take a psych course, and because I was putting myself through and didn't know what I was doing, I registered super late, and I got bounced out of Psych 101 and put into Soc 101. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. I didn't know what sociology was. I absolutely fell in love with it. I learned to do a lot of things, including the methods of sociologically knowing, getting out in the field and talking to people and observing. I loved studying cities. And, I went to graduate school in a city and studied urban social problems in the city because I think I learned through observation. So I need to put myself out so I can breathe and smell and see and touch what I'm studying. And, I come from a long line of teachers, but I didn't really want to teach kids. And my dad was a college coach and I didn't want to be a college coach. So I was like, what do you do? How do you become a professor? And so my advisors at my undergrad institution said, you have to go get your PhD and we'll help you do that, which was super nice because I had no idea. And so I was able to do that and, was very motivated to get a job, a real job, and quickly after getting my PhD, and got a job at UConn Medical School in the Department of Psychiatry. So I also have an appointment in psychiatry at Wayne State and at my previous institution. And I've always loved being a sociologist. It served me very, very well in understanding people and groups and their experiences and using the data to improve programming. I guess I ended up being a dean because I rushed through everything, meaning that, I was quickly an associate professor and then I was promoted and then I was promoted again. And then I was like, now what? When you have tenure and you've gotten your full professor at fairly young, you start to wonder, there's got to be something else I could do. And I really love teaching and I love doing research, but I did start to be asked to take on some leadership positions. And I loved getting to understand higher ed as a secondary sort of scholarship area. So I hope that answered the question. But I do still love to teach and I am still doing research and I love Detroit. Detroit is a great place for what I do in terms of learning about cities.
Thank you, Dean. So many hats. It's an honor.
Sped right through that.
Chinelo?
Yeah, so I came into Wayne State like pre-PA because in high school I did like a lot of medicine classes and I knew I was just interested in health. And then, like I said, I majored in public health. And, during my coursework, I just really enjoyed what I was learning. I liked that public health focused on populations of people rather than just individuals. Kind of wanted to make a bigger impact that way. So I switched instead to PhD. So now I'm getting a PhD in epidemiology. I am not yet at that stage yet. So I've been trying to prepare myself for that by doing research, engaging with faculty, and just like putting myself out there. So I'm doing a lot of volunteer work right now. Like I did this summer, I did like COVID-19 research and I've done research like, every single summer, like I said. So that was pretty much what my journey has been. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but for most people, their journey isn't going to be linear. I know Steeler was talking about this before. It's okay to switch your major. It's okay to explore and figure out what you want to do. It's very hard to come out of senior year of high school and just say, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Because most people don't know what they want to do. And it's not until you get into college where you find out more about like different fields and different jobs that you can really figure it out. Like I didn't know what epidemiology was until I started school and now I want to be epidemiologist. So, it's trial and error. You find out more, while you're in college.
Thanks, Chinelo. I guess for me, when I came into college, it was about 50-50. It was either music or medicine. And so what ended up happening, I started out as a public health major, wanting to go to med school. Went through college. I mean, still in college, but I went through a few years and kind of explored, taking different courses and speaking to a lot of people, and really was kind of battling, where I wanted to go as far as my career and how do I want to be one successful in my life, but also happy. And I don't want to be. And it's all up to you. What does that vision of success look like for you, and how do you want to live your life? And for me, I've come to a realization that public health was the route I wanted to go, and this has actually solidified more recently. Is that my passions for public health? You know, every public health major has a specific sector of public health that they really are passionate about, and for me, it's you know, considering health disparities, but environmental health, and that's really something that I'm passionate about. So I've taken that little seed, that concept of environmental health, and made some initiative towards it. And so I actually have a nonprofit organization called B Plus Detroit, where we focus on building urban bee farms and educating about the importance of bees and relevance to the public health of Detroit. So stuff like that, just getting involved and really taking your passions and turning it into something visual and something that you can work towards and that will align with your career. And sometimes you just have to consider about other opportunities that may come your way. Is this for me in this chapter of my life right now, or do I need to put it off? So knowing the art of saying no at the same time. But yep. Yeah, go ahead, Dean.
So I was just going to say also, I think that 3 of the students on the chat today were from public health, but we do have 20 departments in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences,
Yeah.
and they're all awesome. And you can do environmental work from the languages department. We have environmental studies as one of our departments. We have math, we have English, we have, all the humanities. And I talk a lot about studying the humanities at Wayne State in Detroit, because we're in the museum district. And when we're back live, there's no better place in the world than to be accessing sort of going to the DIA and the historical museum to do your history projects. It's really cool. There's lots to do. So I think what we're saying is, if you find what you love, stick with what you love. You'll do great at it, and sort of immerse yourself in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know with some of us that were in the, Rhea and Sailor and Chichi, Chinello, even going throughout the university, exploring with different student organizations, we've gotten to know what are the skills and strengths that we have at our disposal. So just knowing where you fit in and how you can contribute to the world and the larger Detroit community. And, it's been a wonderful journey. So I wish the best for all of you. Just explore and, actually, a big point is developing mentors too. So finding people who have been there and done that in those fields, so you can speak to them and they can kind of help guide you along the way. Let me check this chat for some more live questions. Okay, so
there was one about December graduation being
okay.
online or in person. It looks like, and the president, I think, has mentioned this, it's going to be online.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Let me see. This one, it says, how many groups / orgs would you recommend getting in contact with? Okay. I'll let Chi or Dean Hartwell, if you want to chime in there.
Yeah, so for student orgs, I'd always say it's best to get involved on campus. My freshman year, I kind of just joined everything that I thought looked, interesting. But yeah, I'd say go to as many club meetings as you can. You don't have to join the club, right off the start. You can just go to the first meeting and see if it's interesting, or, see if you want to get involved. But I'd say get involved with as many as you feel like could be okay for you. I think for me, I was involved in 3 orgs my freshman year. Active in them. But that's because I felt like I had time on my schedule and I wasn't doing research or working at the time. So it really depends on how busy you are. But being involved is important, but don't let it hurt your academics. That's what I'll say.
Absolutely. And don't let it impair your sleep schedule. Sleep is very important. It's the foundation for student success. So get that 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep a night, please. Anything we want to add with that?
I think also you have to relatively wait. If you're a work-study student and you're working 20 hours a week, you can't, right. Kamali's absolutely right. You got to get 8 hours of sleep. You have to find your meditation time or whatnot. If you're a student athlete, again, it's going to be different. We have some great opportunities through emergency food shelters and pantries and things like that. There's different projects and things to get involved with the city, but you need to find a balance that's right for you. I guess maybe we would encourage you to start with at least one thing, just besides your schoolwork. Just try to, and then if you want to do more, we'd love, everybody would love to see you, but start with one and see how it goes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're running a little short on time, but we can take one additional question from the live chat. So let me see here. Let's do, is there, oh, okay. How about what goals should a freshman have for the first semester of university?
Ooh.
Okay.
So I think on the academic side of things, and you both can talk more on the social side, I think you should try to have a one-on-one conversation with each of your professors. It doesn't mean you're going to necessarily click with all of them, but you will with one for sure. But just to try to meet them one-on-one in office hours or schedule an appointment with them. They want to meet with you. If they don't, let me know. But they want to meet with you. You will enjoy meeting with them. I was surprised. I ran into a student and I was like, oh, I heard your women and gender studies class is really good. Who's your professor? Because I'm always trying to find out I'm hearing awesome things about. And they remember the class is really good and the content, but they don't remember the name of their professor. And it reminds me that students don't always see us as human. So, make an effort to reach out to each of your professors at least once individually. And that might start a 4, 5, 6-year relationship with them. They're going to be the people that write your letters of recommendation when you graduate anyhow. So start early and start often with your professors.
Awesome. Thank you, Dean Hartwell. Well, we're reaching that time and it's giveaway time. So 4 of our viewers have been chosen at random to receive a class prize pack with shirts, decals, and other awesome items. And the winners are, drum roll, the winners are, and I'm so sorry if I mispronounce anyone's name, just please bear with me. So apologies in advance. Mita Bejum, Shanmin Sultana, Jade Love, and Sergio Bilanti. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations. And I just want to also remind you again that please email your shirt size and shipping address to class@wayne.edu. Again, that's class@wayne.edu right there. And we'll mail that out to you. So just be expecting that. And thank you so much for tuning in with us. Any last remarks from any of you?
I know Shanmin. She's awesome.
Awesome.
I think one last thing that we should definitely mention is talk to your advisor. Make with your advisor. I want to say at least twice a semester at the beginning and at the end. Especially your freshman year, it's so important. Their job is literally to help you. So I would definitely say make that meeting and get involved.
That's something that other universities actually don't have. And I've only been this is the beginning of my 3rd year at Wayne State, and I didn't mean to overlook it, but it's such a resource and such a special thing. Not all students have an advisor in each area that they're in. So, and we have the layers of advisors, right? Until you declare a major, and then when you declare a major, you get an advisor. So there's that layering system. So Chi-Chi's absolutely right about that.
Okay, awesome. I will just finish off and just say that stick with it. The university is here to support you, and look at just all the different entities of support that are there. So from administrators to faculty and staff, and even your peers. So just don't be afraid to reach out. I know that we're happy to continue answering questions online, but that does it for time. So again, just follow the Wayne State class. That's at Wayne State class. That's CLAS on Twitter and Instagram, and send us your questions there. And thanks for chatting with us, and we hope to see you on campus soon. Be safe, everyone. Bye-bye.